Welcome to the Bible Forum. Do you have your Fed coins? If some Congress members get their way, the Federal Reserve may soon be able to track many of your purchases in real time and share that information with government agencies. That's just one of the problems with the newly proposed digital dollar, or something they're calling Fed coin. The Fed coin was initially included in the first coronavirus spending bill. While the proposal was dropped from the final version of the bill, there's still a lot of interest in this Fed coin up on Capitol Hill. Some progressives have embraced Fed coin as a way to provide Americans with what they call universal basic income. That's code for a government subsidy wherein they own you, and you get to pay for the privilege. Both the Senate Banking Committee and the House Financial Services Committee held hearings on Fed coins in June, the first step toward making it a reality. Now, the Fed coin wouldn't actually be a coin. Instead, it would be a special account created, maintained for every American by the Federal Reserve. And every month, Fed employees would tap a few keys on a computer and voila, each American would have dollars added to their Federal Reserve account. Now, this is the 21st century equivalent of throwing money out of helicopters. FedCoin was initially included in the first coronavirus spending bill. While the proposal wasn't agreed to, was dropped from the final version, there's still a lot of interest in this kind of thing. The cryptocurrency would also limit the ability of private citizens to protect themselves from the Federal Reserve. You see, the Federal Reserve monitors or controls the rise and fall of the dollar's value. So you would be all in a part of that. This Fed coin would not magically increase the number of available goods and services either. But what it would do would be to drive up prices. And the damage would be to the middle and lower income brackets. And that damage would dwarf any benefit that we might receive from this so-called gift from the Fed. The rise in prices could lead to Congress regularly increasing Fed coin payments to Americans. These increases would cause prices to keep rising even higher until we face hyperinflation and a dollar crisis. This is what other nations of the world are going through. You go to Europe, you go to some of the other Eastern countries and others, and you'll find out that they are spending millions of their so-called dollars to buy a loaf of bread. You see the pattern? It's destructive. But we're already on the path. Every economic crisis leads us closer. And that's because of the Fed. FedCoin would simply hasten and worsen the crisis. And then there's the privacy issue. The Federal Reserve could know when FedCoin is being used, who is using it, and what they're using it for. That information could be shared with government agencies, the FBI, the IRS. The government could use this ability to monitor how Americans are spending their money and limit our ability to purchase goods and services that are disfavored by politicians and bureaucrats. Anyone who doubts this needs just recall the Obama administration's Operation Choke Point. You remember that, right? No, we never heard about it. Operation Choke Point involved financial regulators alerting banks that dealing with certain businesses, such as gun stores, would put the banks at reputational risk and could subject them to greater regulation. FedCoin could also be used to encourage individuals to patronize green businesses. This way they would fulfill Jerome Powell's goal of involving the Fed in the fight against climate change. Jerome Powell is the chairman of the Fed. FedCoin could threaten private cryptocurrencies, increase inflation, give government new powers over our financial transactions. FedCoin would also speed up destruction of fiat money. What we have now, value based on government say-so versus actual value, is fiat money. The author seems to believe that government say-so of monetary value is a good thing. And it is, given the way the government spends money. However, allowing the value of precious metal to back our currency is the only way to keep a financial system stable. And we can't have that, can we? Why? Well, because we always need more money. Whatever gain FedCoin may bring to average Americans will come at terrible cost to liberty and prosperity. For context, let me tell you about the first car I ever purchased in life, a 1960 Chevrolet. I purchased that car in 1961, I think, or 2. But in 1960, that car cost about $3,000. Talking about the top of the line model. I bought it for $1,000 2 years later. From 1962 to 1974, I raised my family on $5 and $6 an hour. I purchased a home, 2 cars, had 2 children in Christian school, and I went to Bible college. That job that I gave up in 1974 to go into the ministry at $5 or $6 pays more than $25 an hour now. That's what we call inflation, because we're not getting any more. Stuff just costs more, which means the dollar is worth less, a lot less. And it's going to get worse. What can you do? Stop spending money. Invest in gold or silver, I suppose. Prepare yourself. You do know gold and silver had gone through the roof. I don't have any gold. I've got a little bit of silver. And it jumped from, I think it was $19 an ounce to up close to 50, I think, now. It was just amazing. Nobody's going to pay you for it, pay that kind of price to buy it from you, but you'll pay that to get it. It's coming back down, but not as low as it was when it started. That's where we are.